let's do the first things first. We are bringing down KK. One is on the table. One man down is better than none down. After that is done, we can go ahead and catch Ruto. Atakimbia apotea wapi? He is a citizen of this country. He is the president. He cannot run away. But this must be done in a procedural way, because we also don't want anarchy. We are law-abiding citizens, and however bad it is, we should never be excited and leave this big opportunity to finish one. Rigathi Gachagua, who came out publicly to embolden the IG when ODM led them, Azimio led demonstrations. He told the IG, fanya kazi yako, do your work. The next day, what did we see? We saw citizens being brutalized. We saw property being vandalized. The ODM media vehicle, KDD, was vandalized. People inside could have died. If you see that policeman opening the door to the door of that car to check if there's anybody inside, and you see the smoke coming out, after one officer literally just went, broke the window, and shot in tear gas canisters, what will have happened to that group of media personalities, who some we very well know, like Morris Owino Mdomubagi, you know, and the other media guys that we know who work for His Excellency Raila Odinga? What will have happened to them if they did not know how to slide away when it gets rough? The same Gachagua, who comes out and says we have shares in this country. Yes, when it comes to tribalism, I don't think anybody beats the Kale. It's not a Ruto thing only, it's the Kale. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening, or let's say good afternoon from wherever you could be watching us. I invite you to Kazuri Media TV this morning in Nairobi, Kenya, bringing to you news after a very, very exciting day in Kenya. Yesterday we had the public participation going on in this country, in many counties, and I'm pleased to discuss with you that which transpired, the Kenyan opinion, the people's opinion, and what around. I think the public participation yesterday was mad with different opinions. To some point, I even felt like the public had forgotten what took them to the various places. My focus was more or less at Bomas, that I was able to follow through, and the public call came in, and what I heard them say was Ruto must go if Gachagua has to go. Yes, I did not vote for Ruto, so Ruto must go is what I said back in 2022. And many Kenyans said that, but unfortunately, the will of the people was not upheld, both at the High Court and at Bomas. The IEBC declared elections using counties. Chebukati did not use the constituencies that should have given us the results of a presidential election. Instead, he got his own votes, tallied them into counties, and announced them to Kenyans. On the same day, he had 4 of his commissioners refute the results. And as we all know, the matter went to court, and the Chief Justice gave us hot air. Now we are here today, and Kenyans are saying Ruto must go. Yes, the power is with the people. And if the people say Ruto must go, Ruto must go. But I'd wish to beseech our Kenyans, let us be real to each other. Let us be real. If you cannot unite Ruto and Gachagua and then call us to fight both of them, that will be an uphill task. They're already isolated now. These two people who stole our elections are already isolated. And Gachagua is on the table for a censor. Now, do you want to detract us and tell us Ruto must go? No. I think there are many people who have been sponsored by Gachagua to defend him, and they're not coming out clean to say leave Gachagua. Instead of saying leave Gachagua, they're saying Ruto must also go. Come on. The public participation is to discuss Gachagua's impeachment. Let us discuss Gachagua's impeachment. Hii mtu imesimama na mguu mbili inaitwa Kenya Kwanza government. Mguu moja iko kwa meza. Tukate hiyo kwanza. Once we are done with that, let this call for Ruto must go also follow a channel that can lead us to achieving what we want as Kenyans. Because nobody likes the current economic situation we are in. Everybody doesn't have money. Everybody claims they do not have money. Even the people who have wealth feel like they do not have money. Because we are not liquid. The economy is going to the dogs. But we cannot have people come out to purport that they want to impeach Ruto when the impeachment motion on the table is Gachagua. First things first. Let's do Gachagua, then we do Ruto. But as we do all this, we must also come together. The people who are telling us Ruto must also go must also start telling us what they want next. Because what's on the table is Gachagua. And I listened to the Secretary General of Jubilee, Honorable Kioni, and I read politics in this. No Kenyan is honest. I listened to Eugene Wamalwa, and I see dishonesty. Because if you listen to him, he says the impeachment is not a priority. But it resonates with people who say Ruto's impeachment is a priority. So I read politics. I don't see the Kenyan being helped here. The common mwananchi is still not on the table. As much as they might sound and make you feel like the common mwananchi agenda is on the table, no, it's not. Listen to Eugene Wamalwa. He says it's purely blaming Ruto and not Gachagua for the failures we have in the Kenya Kwanza government. Yet, it is so clear that Kenya Kwanza government is one. If you're going to fight the Kenya Kwanza government, then you must come out and say Gachagua must go, and when the call has been made, make it happen. Say yes during the public participation. If you are a member of parliament, also vote yes for Gachagua to go. That is the only way we'll know you're making the first step towards removing the Kenya Kwanza government from power. But when it comes to a time that Kenyans have an opportunity, with a very weak parliament, you know, the parliament we've had from 2022 to me is the weakest that shall ever be in this country. Today they've decided, 299 of them, that they want to help us at least move a step towards dealing with KK. Then that is the time people want to come out and act like they want us to bring Ruto and Gachagua on the same basket and fight them. No, these two people united will be an uphill task. Let's deal with the first one, then the second one can be dealt with in isolation. And I think it will be easier. Once we set the stage rolling and one is gone, we'll just be doing copy paste and have the other one go. And we can do as many as possible if there's room for that. And even Wetangula must go if Ruto is going, because they're the same. And now after Wetangula and Ruto goes, unfortunately Baba is going to the AU. We must also start discussing who will come in next, so that we put our cards on the table. We don't want a situation whereby some people are having hidden agendas which they want to achieve after we are done with the KK government. So those who are calling for both president and deputy to go at the same time must also tell us where do they see us going to after the two have gone. That conversation must begin. Because in the absence of that, we are creating a recipe for anarchy. A situation whereby in the next 2 weeks or 1 month, the president and the deputy are gone, and we have Honorable Wetangula, who should hold office for 90 days, yet we have not even begun the discussion of who shall replace these people. Because now, if we are already in thinking about president and deputy president going, we must be already discussing who will replace them. And it can't be the Eugene Kioni camp. Those are flower girls. I think anybody who knows them, because I think for Kioni Mdavadi knows him well. For Eugene Wamalwa, we clearly knows is growing and his time is coming. And for Kalonzo Musyoka, I think he's yet to fire. You know, he's at the top there, but he's not firing. You know, I don't want to say he's firing blanks, but Kalonzo Musyoka is yet to fire. And somebody else who could say we have young leaders. I'm trying to mention just the few that I know. Look at our young leaders like Babu Owino. I think Babu is a very, very good agitator, but he's not ready to be our president. You know, we are yet to see him get there to be president. Maybe he can be governor of Nairobi when he contests against Sakaja and the likes. Which also Nairobi, which also has Honorable Tim Wanyoni, who is very solid. So at the end of the day, I want to look at the other leaders, especially these ones that could be talking about Ruto must go when Gachagua goes. Look at Waititu, who's now coming out very loud to defend Honorable Gachagua. And then you want to talk about a better Kenya, when your sentiments are Waititu's sentiments. Is Waititu going to change today and become a serious person if Ruto goes with Gachagua? Or let's come down to levels of Morara. I thought first of all Morara is a Gen Z darling. Till I saw Gen Z's attack him yesterday. Yes, people thought, I had people who say that the Gen Z will determine the 2027 elections because they'll be united. Yesterday showed where their levels of unity are at. It is not the bloomers or the Gen X that were against Morara in Bomas. It's his fellow Gen Zs that told him, bro, it doesn't go that way. And why did those Gen Zs go against Morara? Yes, I've heard people want to say those are ODM goons and hooligans. No. It's unfortunate that when you do politics in Nairobi, ODM will always be at the forefront. a Nairobi event will definitely look like an ODM event. Yes. Jeshi ya Nairobi ni jeshi ya ODM. So you cannot put it on the ODM party. Let it be on the people of Nairobi who associate with ODM. And they did not do that as ODM followers. That was purely done out of the reactions at Bomas. We are yet to know what triggered it. And if somebody knows, they should inform us. The only thing I understand is Morara did not prepare for such a situation. And it's so unfortunate, and I condemn the violence against Morara. We are at a time that we should not express ourselves through blows or chairs being thrown on any Kenyan. That was dangerous, and it could have hurt our young upcoming politician. Because I love Morara, and I respect him because I have a relationship with the Kisis. Not blood relationship, but there's I'm an associate Kisi. And I know members of his family have been very loud before in championing for rights and a better Kenya. Some have been assassinated, as it's claimed. But trust me, can we leave this country to Morara? So, Casmuel Oure, yes, at some point people were talking about Casmuel being the Gen Z leader. Can you, in whose hands are we safe? You know, this gets me back to Atuoli. Can we get Casmuel to be the president of this country? You know, I'm still at that point of what happens after Ruto and Gachagua go at the same time. And the people who are talking about this and are silent on who will lead this country. If people begin to campaign for elections that are 5 years away, people already began campaigning for it. Now, what should we do? What should we be discussing while calling for an election in the next 120 days? Because I believe in the next 1 month, Gachagua will be home. And if he's to go with Ruto, it means we'll have 30 days and then another 90 days for Honorable Wetangula to call for an election. So you're creating a situation whereby we'll be having a presidential elections in 120 days, yet you're not discussing who will be president. So let's be serious as Kenyans. If we want Ruto and Gachagua to be impeached on the same day, then we must begin to speak about who will be president within the next 120 days. Yes, who will be president? But what ya Mirima? Apana lia leo. The people of the mountain should not cry loud today. They're allowed to cry because they're suffering like every other Kenyan. But let them not cry and say, Ruto must go. Chanting Ruto must go today will make some of us feel so bad. Because all Kenyans, including the president who was from the mountain, went to the mountain and told them, heri huyu mzee. But they rejected Raila, who could have led this country as a father, and gave it to Ruto. Now, they started by telling Raila to stay away from the Gen Z protests. Baba will do it for you. When they'd done it and Raila got Ruto to listen and call for dialogue, they refused. And now they're saying Raila is wrong. Raila is supporting the government. They even want Raila to be impeached. I don't know from which position, but if you hear their sentiments that like Raila must go where? Yet you let him go a long time ago, and you chose this Kenya Kwanza government. After choosing Kenya Kwanza government, now you're crying. Atwoli said it. And I want you to listen to what Atwoli said. He was very categorical. He asked, in whose hands are you safe? And I think they didn't listen to him. That is something a lesson that people should learn. When old men talk, we should listen. The other thing is, I'm seeing the country getting into serious politics for 2027. Because personally, as I continue to say Gachagua must go fast because his issues on the table, I don't still believe Parliament can impeach Gachagua. Not because of his Gachagua bad. Parliament, the current Parliament to impeach a deputy president. I'm yet to see. That is something I'll wait to see. I'm not convinced. Everything looks fired, but I'm not convinced our current Parliament can impeach a deputy president. And if they do so, I'll remove that hat for them. Because, this Parliament has, I don't know, it's a juvenile Parliament or what, but the things they've done, the places they put us, I think before the Gen Z revolution, they were just clear that they're goons and parliamentarians for hire. There's nothing that looks like they discussed that really, really mattered to them and the citizens. Even ODM, which has thrived in having very serious legislators, this time round were thrown in some gray area. You could not fail the ODM that we know. Even Honorable Junet, a serious debater, I think for the past 2 years has not really come out to make us feel him like we felt him before. But yes, I still believe he's a top-notch politician, and we look forward to seeing him grow in the ODM party. We also have legislatures, but I'm happy with legislatures like Millie Mabona. They've come out louder than before. She's always been consistent, yes, but I love what she's doing today. But deep inside me, I still doubt if our current MPs are able to impeach a deputy president. But all that withstanding, one man down is better than none down. So let us not be detracted by the stories of which I had in Bomas yesterday and many other places, whereby Kenyans, instead of focusing on the impeachment motion that they've been called for, they started talking about Ruto, who was not on the table. At the end of the day, if Gachagua is not impeached because the call for Ruto must go becomes louder, we shall have failed. And to me, that shall have been a strategy that has been used before and could have been used by Gachagua to make sure that the impeachment motion is not discussed and people are detracted by the call of Ruto must go. Let's do the first things first. We are bringing down KK. One is on the table. One man down is better than none down. After that is done, we can go ahead and catch Ruto. Atakimbia apotee wapi? He is a citizen of this country. He is the president. He cannot run away. But this must be done in a procedural way, because we also don't want anarchy. We are law-abiding citizens, and however bad it is, we should never be excited and leave this big opportunity to finish one. Regarding Gachagua, who came out publicly to embolden the IG when Azimio led demonstrations. He told the IG, fanya kazi yako, do your work. The next day, what did we see? We saw citizens being brutalized. We saw property being vandalized. The ODM media vehicle, KDD, was vandalized. People inside could have died. If you see that policeman opening the door to the door of that car to check if there's anybody inside, and you see the smoke coming out, after one officer literally just went, broke the window, and shot in tear gas canisters, what will have happened to that group of media personalities who some we very well know, like Morris Owino Mdomobagi, you know, and the other media guys that we know who work for His Excellency Raila Odinga? What will have happened to them if they did not know how to slide away when it gets rough? The same Gachagua, who comes out and says we have shares in this country. Yes, when it comes to tribalism, I don't think anybody beats the Kale. It's not a Ruto thing only, it's the Kale. I remember when I was growing up, I'll go to Telcom, when you still had those landlines. And you'll go to Telcom and you'll feel the Kale in it. The police accent was Kamba Kale, you know? But it's real. An audit shows that Kalenjins are 15.88% in government today. But they're closely followed by Kikuyus, who are 15.77. Kalenjins 15.83, Kikuyus 15.87. Then followed by, I think, the Luya, then the Luos. So we cannot be detracted and leave Gachagua. For me, he is one person who has done things, turned citizens into shareholders, turned government into a company to pay dividends. Yes, corruption, yes, I will not support corruption. But we know we cannot put all the corrupt in one basket and hope to deal with them at the same time. Unity is strength, and you don't strengthen your enemies when you want to fight them. Even in the wild, when the lion is hunting, they isolate. So one is already isolated. Let's focus, eye on the ball. Let's finish with this guy. Once we are done with him, we can focus on the next. And with consistency, unity as Kenyans, we'll clean it. And also Parliament, the way they presented the impeachment, the public participation question, which provides for the public to say a yes to the impeachment or a no. I think they should consider next time creating space for other opinion, because it's so clear that Kenyans went for the impeachment, Gachagua impeachment participation, but they had more that they wanted to say. And the first thing they had that was so burning was Ruto must also go. So Parliament next time should create a document that can allow Kenyans to express themselves and feel that they have been listened to. Maybe that expression should be effected like now. This public is saying Ruto must go with Gachagua. If in their returns it shows that it even came louder than the main agenda, which was Gachagua's impeachment, then they should have a way of effecting it, so that public opinion is taken seriously and action that can satisfy what the public wants is taken. Because I do not want to water down what many Kenyans have called for, which is Ruto must go. Wakenya si wazimu. If they say that, and it's even coming out louder than what they had gone for in Bomas, because I followed Bomas more, and in some, I think in Wajir or Kakamega or somewhere, the songs were just Ruto must go. It even silenced the Gachagua impeachment story. Then it's time for us Kenyans to come and ask yourselves. The president and the deputy must go. Who will lead this country? In the absence of that, we might be calling shots that might not be beneficial to us. So, once again, I wish to tell you that you're watching us live from Nairobi, Kenya. This is Kazuri Media. Those who have not subscribed, kindly subscribe, like our page, and share so that we can reach out to many Kenyans and people in the world. Kazuri Media, your #1 news channel in Kenya, Nairobi.